Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and thank you for being in Soul Talk. I really appreciate you. And today we have a friend. I met her through her podcast, and in the symposium I had a little bit of to get to know her a little bit more. And she was very, very interesting. And that's why I invited her to be with us in Soul Talk. Glenda, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for having me. I am so blessed to be here with you today. And I'm just so blessed to be in general, being able to participate in so many things. I think though, the first time we met, you were on the Conscious Awakening.
Yes.
And that's where I actually saw you being interviewed at that moment. And that's where our interests peaked, because it was like, she's interesting. I need to have her on my podcast.
We meet so many people through the internet, and before the pandemic, we didn't have that much trust in the internet or the people online. And the pandemic actually show us and teach us that we become globally. And now we can meet people very interesting from all over the world. And that have changed our conscience as human beings.
Yes, it has. I was though one of those blessed ones that I have, previous to the pandemic, had been working with clients in Europe, in Canada, in South America. So Zoom for me was already a thing.
Yes.
Not as it is now, because they have made a lot of changes since then, but
it's easier. The connections are easier. I even before the pandemic, I was already taking classes in New Zealand.
Right.
So yes, but now it is a better reception. It is like more proactive. And yes, even with all the changes they have done, it's still getting better and better.
Yes.
We're gonna be in 10 years.
But we're probably going to be able to just you appear here or I appear there.
Yes, it's doing more Star Trek.
Yes. Never know, right? You never know. Technology goes so fast. So
yes, and I believe it's going to be in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Well, guys, let me tell you a little bit about who is Glenda. Glenda is owner and founder of the spiritual center, Glenda Magical Creation, that we're going to be asking her a little bit about that. And she's also emissary and ambassador of the Wish Alliance, Walk-ins, Indigo, Star Seeds, and Hybrids, that many of us we are. She's also member since the 2021 of Metaphysical Committee of the world's largest Ghost Hunter event. It is held in September. And she is a Reiki master, a grandmaster of many other techniques of Reiki that we are going to be talking today about that. Glenda, it is really my pleasure to have you here. And and I have, yes, I would like to ask you about your magical creations, what it is about. But I have so many questions about all the Reikis that there are so many. I am a Reiki master, and believe me, I have never heard of the half of the Reikis that now you are that you're mentioning here. So please.
You were trained in Usui Reiki, which is I compare it to like the family doctor that you go to, who knows a little bit of everything. And then all the other Reikis are the specialists. So if you have addiction or traumas or something, you do more Karuna Ki Reiki on somebody. If you have someone who is in the process of awakening. And so you do one type. If you have someone who has a problem with a relationship, you do another one. I do the Magical Dragons Reiki, which that brings in their dragons that they have known all their life into life. Dragons sleep until you bring them and you wake them up. So by doing that Reiki and attuning them, my students to that, they're able to then use the dragon magic, the dragon energy to help heal others. So it's basically every single type is more like the specialist. Like you pinpoint more stuff. The Kundalini, or somebody's going through Kundalini awakening and rising, you know, sometimes people are not ready for all the pain and the trauma and all that comes out. So the Reiki helps it subside. Still happening, but makes the waves a little calmer instead of full blast, you know, hurricane storm. So
Yes.
that's basically what it is.
I do work with one of my protectors is a dragon. It's a female dragon that I always work with her. And she's one of my protectors and is very wise. But I did not, of course, I did not have an attunement for my dragon. We
Right.
just met each other face to face, and it was a scary experience at the beginning, and learned to soften it and talk to her as a channeler.
Right.
We create that connection between both of us, and now it is
Well, you
comfortable.
just don't have that dragon. That's what the attunement does. The attunement brings your whole dragon family, because they're kings dragons, they're queen dragons, they're children dragons, you know, basically. And it helps you call upon all of them. So you get to know each other. And then each one of them they give you their name. So then when you're in need of, say, female dragon energy, which is a little, it's like a mama bear type of, or a female lioness, you know, they don't take anything. That's the one that you need. When you need one that's a little stronger, but thinks more, you know, and gives you more ideas, then you call the male dragons. It's all about what type of energy you need to help others or to help yourself.
It's kind of the guides, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for people that they are not channelers, or they're starting
They're
to.
not, they don't have to be channelers, they don't have to be Reiki, anything, because when I do that, I explain all about Reiki, how it started, the foundation. I attune them to level 1, and then I attune them to the 3 levels of Magical Dragon Reiki. It's a system within itself. Although I like to give the foundation, but that's just me. My training just included the dragon thing, and they are, you know, I felt that my students needed the foundation to understand better and do some of their own healing before they start doing it on others.
I understand. I learned the hard way teaching channeling that I could not jump into channeling if they still need to work with their own fears.
Right.
Or
Right.
else people will freak out. You know, like suddenly you have, it doesn't matter. Let's say an angel in front of you, and they will faint.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not ready. Different things happen. So yes, I have seen that happen, and I even when you think they're ready, they're sometimes not ready for it.
That applies a lot for the third eye. That I
Mhm.
hear many people asking, okay, can you open me the third eye? Or they go with coaches or healers, like, open me the third eye. And
Mhm.
this is in what, let your higher self decide that. Because it will know when you are ready, actually, to
Mhm.
see that, to see a being in front of you,
Right.
or spirits, or whatever it is,
Right.
before you're ready.
Yep. Not everybody's ready. That's one of the things I teach when I do the mediumship. When I teach it and people practice, and I've been very blessed that only one person so far has faced their fears where they were not ready. And then a couple of weeks back, they came back and said, okay, all right, I went through that shock. Okay, now let's go ahead and do it. And I'm like, good. But I think it's so funny how they react sometimes, even though they say they're ready. So,
It takes me to the question. It is about the world, like just ghost hunter event that you do.
oh, okay. World's largest ghost hunt event has happened for 7 years straight. It's usually in September. It's all over the world. It's when I participated, it was 120 teams all over the world. It's a 24-hour period. So each team starts the live event, because we stream it, of them going in there with their machines or doing whatever they want to do, feeling the ghosts are in that place. And so we go 24 hours straight, streaming 120 teams. And then they take all that evidence and they give it to a scientist who then scientifically proves that there is ghosts, that there is the other dimension and all that other stuff. My role was, I was in the metaphysical committee, and I think there were only 5 of us protecting all those teams and each and every one of those people that were there participating. Because some teams, it wasn't like one person. Some teams there were like 15, 20 people. So you could imagine the amount of energy that was going all over. And so we had mediums from all over the world protecting, just sending out loving energy, and really start protecting, I would say, about a month before, because we wanted to make sure that the darkness didn't come in and, try to stop or hurt anybody. And I was at Ground Zero, which was Conjuring House. And thankfully, everything went well. Nobody got hurt. Johnny Saffis was able to speak to his aunt and uncle, which were the owner, the ones that did the seance in the Conjuring House. And Lorraine Warren and her husband, he was able to speak to them. They had passed away, and he was very happy that he was able to do that. And thankfully, nobody got hurt or anything. Every team got their stuff. There was a team or two that had technical difficulties, but that, the internet, you can't do everything.
No one, I wonder, no one have encountered a being of very dense energy in this ghost hunting.
To my knowledge, nobody experienced that except one team that didn't follow protocol, because our job was to do a prayer before they went in, or a ritual, whatever you want to call it. They were supposed to do step by step to protect themselves. And this team kind of took a little shortcut. And then they called me up. We're getting scratched. Okay, we'll get out first. Let's start again. Let's, well, we don't believe in that prayer. Okay, so the Lord's Prayer. Let's do the Lord's Prayer. You can't cut corners when you're doing this stuff. So they did, and they went back in, and it was a success. Absolutely no problems. They calmed down because, of course, something happens and we get
Adrenaline.
right. But what the best part about this event is that all of the proceeds from those events help keep that place going. So if it was, say, the Conjuring House, all the funds that were collected that day for tickets, because they had like a pay-per-view thing, all that stuff was divided among all the locations. So they could restore, they could keep going, because you need money to keep the place up, especially some older places.
That put me to think about this. Is I seen more and more people are waking up, and they're starting to see beings. They're starting to see It is not their guides. It will be phantoms, or it can be, etc. There are
Mhm.
thousands of things that it can be there.
Right.
And if they're not ready to observe and to see, immediately their third eye will close.
Right.
Correct?
Right. Because they're
Because
scared.
it is a
Right.
protection for themselves. So in this new change of the world where we're going,
Mhm.
that the veils are getting thinner and thinner
Mhm.
and thinner.
Mhm.
Even people that are not believers on anything of this, now they're starting to see, now they're starting to feel, and they don't know what is going on.
Mhm.
As a coach, as a healer, as a medium, as a channelers, how we can support better this transition, because it is going to get thinner. It is going to
Mhm.
it's going to be more visual than ever before, and more than the time pass on.
Ye- Well, my thing is I've always been available. I you know Larry. Larry and I get called to places where people have gone in and stirred up the beings there, and then that forms a fear vibration, and then brings in other stuff that wouldn't be there because there was be no food for them. Once that negative vibration starts rising, then they could feed and be there. Um, so usually I tell everyone that I meet, if you ever encounter anything, don't try to do anything. Just call me. Don't instigate it. Don't make it worse. And I have somehow, when you encounter something like that, there's always, it's like the universe always supplies the person who can help you.
Yeah. The thing
Always.
is, something that I understand, that it is when we believe in something so
Right.
much, it is collective.
Right.
We create this entity, this being. So
Right.
we create this being. So if everybody goes in fear to a hunting, a place that is already have dense energy in there
Right.
itself,
Mm-hmm.
and we bring this, we're gonna create another being in there that it was not even there before.
Right.
But now with the collective fear of the people that went there, they're
Right.
gonna create this new being.
Well, it's not so much creating, is that thin veil that you're talking about. It's a lot giving them enough energy to cross it.
Yeah,
So it's not that we create it, they have always existed.
yeah,
The good and the bad has since day one existed. And as much as I like to say the bad isn't really always bad. It could just be angry. It could just be there to teach you a lesson. It could just be there to dig up all that old stuff that you need to dig up. So it's not always black and white as people think.
yeah. I
There's a
understand.
lot of gray in between. And you're talking to a girl who went to an exorcism the age of 5.
No, I do many exorcisms with my
Right,
clients and so forth. I'm not
right,
afraid of that.
right.
I do work with that. But I do understand that. But the thing is, I also, when I see my clients, why they ask me, okay, why when after I do an exorcism on them,
Yeah,
like why this happened to me? Okay, what emotions you were having,
right,
what feelings you were, what thoughts and what emotions you were creating inside yourself, so you open up yourself
right,
to this happen to you.
right.
And the
Mhm.
majority of the human beings do not understand. They have fear of themselves because, let's put it like this: the light and the shadow, they
Mhm.
exist in ourselves.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one of the best ways that I have encountered to counteract these beings is sending them love. They,
Mhm.
if they don't if they resist to transform it, they
Mhm.
they will leave because they
Mhm.
cannot understand love.
Right. Yeah, I have done a lot of exorcisms, but a lot of them were not exorcisms. They were called exorcisms, but they were really more cleansing of the person and letting them admit what their fear, what they were bringing up. I have seen where there's an entity that brings the person, the whole body, up in the air, brings them down into the water, up in the air, brings them down into the water. I have participated in removing that entity from that person. That was a true exorcism. And it's like the Catholic Church says, out of 100, there's one maybe true. The other ones are just the person's energy, the person own bringing out their own so-called, I hate saying this word, demons, and they don't know how to work it. They don't know what to do with them.
But we also have attachments or
Attachments are not exorcisms.
Yes, there's attachments and there's apparatus also from the ETs that are not the good ones, of course.
Right.
But they install it in different human beings. And if you have your third eye open, you can see them.
Right.
Purely in human beings. For
Right.
me, I do see them in different parts of the body. And that's figure to the human beings they have. Right.
Yes, and that's where there's so many different variations of attachment, of possessions, paralysis, all that stuff. And that, a lot of people say, oh my God, you do something. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not all that cracked up like people think it is. It's not all the movie, you go in there and no.
Hollywood created their own allegory.
Yes.
That's a separate thing, the imagination, the Hollywood thing. So they can scare you and they can sell more tickets.
Yeah.
But yes, when you feel that energy, I have seen people with two faces. One face, it is completely distorted, one side of the face, and the other one is the person. And those I have seen those, and you can feel the energy that it is irradiating, and
unfortunately the person is feeding that energy, because we all need to be fed, right? And a lot, we all need to be fed. So if there's fear, you create more of that negative energy, it increases, and they get more, they then scare you more, and it's just
Can you tell, please, our public how they open themselves to this happen to them? They say, if I go to church every Sunday, how did this happen to me?
You could have trauma. You could have a moment where disappointment. You could have something that happened to you when you were 5 years old, and now you had completely blocked it because it was too hard for you to deal with. And now it's starting to come out. You could hang out or be around very negative people. You could be working against yourself. Like, for example, you want to speak your truth and you can't. You hold it in. That creates negative energy. You could go to church every single Sunday or every single Saturday. You could be the most religious person in the world. Has nothing to do with this. Until you're able to release what is inside of you that you have not been able to release, you're basically in that space. You open yourself up to not healing. You open yourself up to holding on to everything. You open, and then as soon as that happens, you're creating that negative energy, and it rises and it gets bigger, and that it's like, you hit your knee, and if you don't put ice on it right away, it starts to expand. So the trauma was hitting your knee, and now if you don't do something to heal it, it's going to get bigger and bigger and black and blue and bigger, and you might have to go to the doctor to get it drained, so on, so on, so on. So it's, unfortunately, we have all gone through trauma. It's the idea of how we deal with it, how we bring it up, how we heal it. You don't have to heal it all at once. You could do little by little as you're able to take it. Especially people who have been abused by someone that they loved. It's very hard to release all that at once, because no matter how strong you are, you're still going to have
Still,
some residue. No.
yes. And unfortunately, every single human being, I believe, if they're in this plane, they have trauma.
Mhm,
They have to work on themselves. If not,
mhm.
even the Dalai Lama would not be here.
No, no.
Everybody has
Ev-
something to
ev-
work.
Everybody, this dimension, this earth, um, I believe was built to hold the negative. And because it was created kind of like a jail, so to speak, for the real chaotic entities, and because of that, then this was a perfect place to learn your lessons, because you come here and you got to go through some trauma to heal and to learn and to evolve. So the divine, whatever that is, however you want to call it, I don't care what name you put on it, God, goddess, saw this as an opportunity for the souls to evolve so they could be closer and more divine, like God or goddess, whatever. The creator really saw this as that opportunity. And I really truly believe that this planet was meant for us to learn our lessons through some type of trauma. Because if everything is easy, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do any work.
I wish I could say the contrary, but I believe in. I agree with you. The best teachers are the more painful ones. We don't
Yeah,
learn from our successes. We learn from our mistakes.
exactly. Exactly. Our mistakes or the opportunities that we create to learn.
Yes.
Because our mistakes are just something that we do so we could create the environment to learn and to evolve and to heal. It's very hard to ride a bike if you didn't fall a few times.
Something that takes me here, it is that I see our community, light workers, star seeds, healers, coaches, etc., etc., etc. They're
Mhm.
right now we're growing and we're more, but something that they have in common, it is they're so afraid of their own shadow. Forget about the shadow of others, their own and everything has to be love and light, and they feel hypocrite when they feel anger or when they feel any kind of emotion. So they just go into meditation and they're gonna get rid of it. Yes, those are tools. I'm not gonna deny it's not tools, but it's like also confronting that.
Right.
And in the moment you try to talk with them about what we're talking right now,
Mhm.
about entities, exorcisms, and things like that, they freak out. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear about it. It is too much for them. I hear it over and over through the years. And when I say to people, I do exorcisms, they're afraid of me. And
When I
it's
tell them I was in an exorcism at the age of 5, they'll go like, and they start walking away.
yes, I know, because they're so afraid of all this. And when they don't realize that probably they have one entity living, at least one entity in their home, that doesn't count that probably they have 20 or 30 or more.
Oh, I have my share. I have my share. My house is from 1900. So
Yep.
there's a lot in there. And we have an agreement. They stay in the attic. We live in the first and the second floor. They live in the attic, and everything is great. So
Not necessarily has to be from the 1900. It can be a new home, but it was
yeah,
built in the wrong place.
yeah, wrong land.
Or they didn't ask permission because people are not aware
Right.
or ask permission before they construct a house or before they go to a cave or before they cross a river or before they cut a flower.
Yes,
Ask
yes. Ask
permission.
for permission, especially like when I do the remediation, which is what I call when I go in there and calm all the spirits down. Before I walk through that doorway, I am like, okay, door's open. I'm coming in. Is it okay? I'm not here to cause any trouble. I'm not here to get rid of you. I'm just here to talk, to get your story, get your side of things. I have found that with going with that respect, that level of respect, I have never met an entity, thank God, that I cannot reason with and come to some understanding. I have been to classes where I've seen people actually get scratched and all that. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, we're just here trying to learn. Oh, she says something wrong against me. I said, well, why don't you tell me and I'll explain it to her. And then maybe we could like all relax, because, when people saw the scratches happening at that moment, of course, she's freaking out and everybody else is freaking out and they're smoking up the place where I'm almost got an asthma attack.
Oh gosh.
Too much sage, people, too much sage. And I'm just like, okay. Put your mirrors down, because it was one of those mirror divination things. Put the mirrors down, upside down first. Let's start by doing that. Take
Yeah.
nice deep breaths. Okay, everybody calm. Think of lovely thoughts. Maybe your vibrations will get increased instead of being so low. And then I was, everything got calm, and they were all, my daughter was there and she's looking at me like, why are they all freaking out? I'm like, I don't know. Just, you stay calm.
They feed their own fears, and that's when they start feeding these beings. These beings that
Yes,
people understand that they're not exactly cannibals.
right. Well,
They feed from their emotions.
yeah. And this being was a ghost that was a serial killer when he was living. And he got angry at somebody, at someone who had said a few words to a person he fell in love with. So he started acting out against everybody and everything. And I'm like, no, not with me. That don't got it. So we were very good after that. It calmed down. I saw that not everyone there was to hurt him or to hurt her or anything like that. Just like, we're just there to learn to see things in a different way. But yeah, you when you encounter anything like that, yes, you're going to over certainly react. Of course, we're humans, for most of us. We're humans. But if you go in there and you say, okay, I acknowledge that, I am not fearful of that, because I refuse to let it hurt me. My protectors, come on, guys. This is what you're here for. I'm asking you, because that's another thing. People don't forget that even though you have protectors and guides and all of that stuff, you still have free will. And if you don't call them in, they're not coming in. Because you're not calling in your team.
Yes. People forget how, as human beings, how powerful we are, because we have the free will.
Yes.
And people forget that part that is so important.
It's one of the best ones. But yeah, it's and I am, even my mother used to say to me, just keep in mind, this world is hell. Learn your lessons. We'll go back. I'm like, yes, Mom. And I never quite understood it until I grew up. And then, first marriage, second marriage, and all that other stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is what she means. Okay. Got it, Mom.
Hi, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Are you a healer, starseed, coach, practitioner, or reader, and you still doubt yourself that when you get one of your clients that you did enough for them? Are you still self-doubting yourself? Oh, this is coming from a past trauma that it was created from this timeline or past lives that you have not worked at yourself, because we all have blind spots that sometimes we need someone to mark it for us. And when we're working with the inner child, that we all have to, because or else we're going to continue repeating the same stories and not feeling good enough. And we're going to even be a people pleasers. We're going to be overachievers because we don't feel good enough. And those traumas are still there. So in the moment you work with those things, you're going to learn how to love yourself, how to accept yourself. And that is going to be from a path to the heart, the level 1. The level 2, we go into past lives more deeply and to actually clear family lineage. We're going to be also doing a soul retrieval in there and way much more. And in the 3rd level, you're going to learn how to use the practice that you already know how to do. But you're going to be adding the channeling, because you're going to learn different kinds of channeling. And you're going to learn how to develop your magical gifts that we all are born with. And not only that, you're going to learn how to work in theta level with your own clients. So like that, you can go deeply and more profoundly, and you will feel more secure. I will give a certification from that, from Path to the Heart. So if you want more information, you can book a call with me. It is a free 30-minute session. So like that, we can discover together how I can help you better. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and thank you for listening. At the same time, we agreed to have those relationships at a very time. So they were my teachers, all of them. And I agreed to have those experiences so I can learn and grow and become the person that I am now. So
Exactly. We came here to evolve. So we decided to learn this lesson, speak up, stand up for yourself and all that. And they just kept giving you opportunities to it. That's all.
And then you change that I deserve better. I am worth more. So your next experience, they don't have to be exactly as the other ones, but you have to do the inner work.
Right, exactly. And inner work is number 1. And it's not being selfish, people. Thinking about yourself, self-care, self-love, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I look good to you. That's it. You don't have to look good to anybody else.
The thing is, I believe the part when people stop believing in themselves, I'm not going to talk before even the religion started, because it's been, since the beginning, it's been religions.
Right.
But I noticed growing up in a Catholic family that the ego was the enemy, was the devil. And the devil, how you were going to believe in yourself or create that you can talk to God. You need a priest to talk to God. So like that, and that do that intersection. Because how dare you?
Yeah.
But that's what it hurts more the human being. Can you talk about that a little bit more, please?
Well, anything that is man-made and goes to extreme to control the people is hurtful. In the very beginning, humans knew how to speak to nature, and nature would speak back to you. We knew how to talk to the animals, and animals communicated with you. We knew how to heal, and how to heal without medicines, without all this stuff. We knew how to, surgery was unheard of. It just occurred, like energetic surgery. Like when we do Reiki, we could do energetic surgery. All that, we were one with the universe. We could talk to beings in other planets. We could talk to beings within Gaia. We could talk within Gaia. But when humans that were in charge started noticing that, oh, wait, we can't control them if they know how to heal. We can't control them if they know they don't have fear. We can't control them if we don't show them that they're bad. No matter what they do, oh my God, no, they're bad. So by doing that, creating that fear-based belief, because I don't care what belief it is, unless it's based on love, it is not true. It is humanity or human-based. And once they started doing that, they got rid of all the traditions, all ways to communicate with nature and the animals and Gaia and all that. We lost that ability to a certain extent, and we kind of put it to sleep because, like myself, previous lifetimes, I made an herb to cure somebody's, athlete foot, and I was a witch and I got burned. So any little knowledge that anyone had, they were afraid. They just follow, like, because they would be accused and burned or killed or drowned or crucified. I mean, that's how Jesus got into the crucifixion part, because somebody realized that he had knowledge.
It is about power.
Right.
Of it, and power corrupts the human beings.
Mhm.
We see that over and over and over to our politicians to this day.
Yes. Yes.
So in the
It,
moment you understand that every single human being is as powerful as you are, then
Yeah.
you're not more or less. Maybe you wake up some things that other people do not know how to do, but that doesn't mean they cannot obtain
no.
it.
Right.
It's just a matter of choice.
Right. We're all the same. We all have faults. We all have our moments where things don't align properly. We all have our disagreements or encounters of disagreements with others. It's very difficult to realize that sometimes we have to just release, acknowledge and release. Somebody and I had a disagreement, for example. Well, I acknowledge those feelings, I acknowledge those actions, and then I release and let the universe take that, because I'm not going to change them. I am not going to do anything, but if I want them to look at it from my point of view, I have to be the example. If I'm saying you got to acknowledge, release, and forgive, and I don't, what kind of example am I?
Yeah.
Right. So when people talk about, oh, this person did this, and I said, you don't have to hang out with them anymore. That's okay. They were there for that moment to teach you that lesson, or for you to teach them that lesson. But release that, so you can then show your true self instead of that self that that person is seeing you through.
Mhm.
And it's like the same thing with fear. I have to, when I teach my Reiki, I have to tell my students, please don't go in the cage with the lions. Just stay on the outside. This one client of mine was not fearful of lions, was not fearful of any of that stuff. Went to a zoo, a lion was sick. They jump over the fence to give them Reiki. And I'm like, you needed to be on that side. They didn't get hurt because the lion felt that energy, and the lion calmed down, fell asleep, the whole thing. But I'm like, it's not fearful, but that could have hurt.
Oh my gosh.
And so now I put that caveat in every single time I teach.
Gosh,
Don't go in those cages.
yeah.
They feel it from over here, believe me.
Oh my gosh, I cannot hear that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
I can't believe that happened.
yeah, it's like, okay, all right, you did what? All righty then.
Even
Oh,
even with all the work that we do, exorcisms, remove attachments, calling
yeah.
God, spouse, etc., and so forth, I don't look for them. I
No,
don't.
I'm directed by upstairs because that was my agreement with them. But there are times where I'm like, really? You want me to go in there? You guys better be with me to protect every single ounce of me, every inch, every hair, everything.
Something that I have, let me tell you, I have met many coaches and healers, not only in these podcasts,
Right.
with people that I have gone to different places and so forth.
Right.
And I have not met many people, or when I'm saying people, I'm talking about coaches or
Right.
healers or energy workers in any kind, that actually are afraid to work in this level with the human beings. They're too afraid to actually, to, if they encounter this, it's like, oh, Monica, I have a new client for you. They don't want to deal with that. Why it is that? Because it is gonna be necessary. We're not good. We're not so many that actually we work in this level.
Right.
Unfortunately, if we were more, it will be easier. We will probably right now already shift the energy of the world, but we're
Right.
not that many. And only peace and love,
No.
it doesn't work.
It's
What's
all
the
not,
certain-
everything is not about butterflies. People, well, for me, I signed for this job. I accepted the so-called job, as I call it, at the age of 2, because since I couldn't walk, and my archangels appeared one day before my 2nd birthday, and said you could walk, and took me off my chair, and I started walking, never stopped since then. On my birthday, I was thinking about this. I'm like, wait a second, they did me a favor, a really huge favor. I couldn't quite understand it, but I knew it was a very important high level thing that, because I kept seeing everybody look at me like, you could walk? What do you mean? My mother fainted, the neighbors came. I mean, this whole big deal. And I'm like, what? Like I'm thinking to myself, okay, what did I do? Let me think. Did I do something wrong? No. Did I do something right? I have no idea. What did I do? And then on my 2nd birthday, when they were celebrating my birthday and the cake and all that other stuff, I'm like, I can walk. It just poof. And I said, okay, so I am here for something greater than what I was starting out to be. And I understand that I had to go through that for some reason. I'm here for whatever you guys need me for as long as you guys need me. And to this day, I've had 5 near-death experiences, actually dead, coded, where they had to bring me back. And every single time they like up there, I'm like, finally, peace, quiet, tranquility, no pain, nothing but love, and I get one of my ancestors going, no, not yet. Oh, come on. I'm ready for those pina, because I like virgin pina coladas. I'm ready for those virgin pina coladas. And they're like, nope, not yet. Go back. You still got work to do. I'm like, okay. But I made the deal. So they could wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, you got to go to a Dunkin' Donut. And I'll be like half asleep, coffee place, and sit at a table. And that person next to me may just need somebody to talk to help them get over that lump, that moment of where they're thinking of ending their lives, or they're thinking of taking others with them, or whatever the case may be, that bottom of the barrel moment. And so I'm there just talking to them about anything, the weather, whatever. And I could see their light getting brighter. I could feel their vibrations increasing. And I know that I made a difference in that moment. This is why I tell people, look, if you see somebody having a hard day, just say good morning and give them a smile. That could be the whole change that they need for the rest of their day. And I actually have gotten to meet a lot of people that way. I'm kind of older. I'm 61, going to be 62 in June. And I keep asking them, look, I'm really old. I really need sleep now. So give me the day shift, okay?
I do put limitations to my guides. I tell them, okay, I need to go to sleep. I need a break. So I put boundaries with them, like I'm putting boundaries to humans.
Yeah.
They need boundaries too.
They forget that we have our meat suit needs help.
Yes, because or else it will not be self-care.
Right.
And it will not be self-love. And so how we're gonna give it to others if we don't have it for ourselves?
Exactly.
I do not mean that once in a while, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna go to buy some donuts.
Right.
And
right. But every once in a while, not an everyday thing. Like it got there to be for a moment. So
tell us a little bit about what do you do in your magical creation?
Well, in my center, we do meditation. We do all different types of activations, healing sessions of all different types. I do what I call blissful sessions, which is a healing that comes from your higher self. You tell me what you need, whether it be sound, because I do also sound baths, whether it be sound, whether it be just crystals, whether it be just Reiki, whether it be vortex, whether it be matrix healing, whatever it is that your higher self tells me it needs. We also have crystals here. We also have herbs. We have my own essential oil recipes, like for your third eye, or for fears, or for if you want to call in a particular archangel, if you want to open one of your chakras that you know is not functioning well, or you just came out of a healing session, but kind of to add to the healing. Because it isn't just healing and then you go home back to your old self. You kind of have to follow up, kind of have to do your homework. So I have classes of every single type in here, from mirror scrying to pendulums to all different types of Reiki, all different types of healing. Activations, I do a lot of those to help a person get it a little bit more aligned. I'm doing now this month a depression activation to kind of heal if you're going through depression, kind of help you also along, because winter, with all the pandemic, all that stuff, we're still holding on to a lot of that. And a lot of people are still depressed from it. So this is a good time to get that kind of brushed out. DNA activations, DNA upgrades, a little bit of everything, a lot of podcasts. But I started in the center with one small office and have worked myself up to the full floor. So now we have a lot of peace. We have Qigong classes. We used to have chair yoga, but the lady moved away. So there goes she was really good. She was really good. And she doesn't like Zoom. So we sometimes have people coming in and do shiatsu. And they teach us how to do shiatsu. They come and teach us how to do natural soaps, natural shampoos, deodorants. I mean, a little bit of everything. I've also, I have to go back to it, but I was running a women's group. And I have to go back to that because that's very important right now. To get that feminine energy back into balance with the divine masculine. We seem to go this way, and we need a place that's safe, that we could speak whatever is bothering us or whatever we went through, so we can heal. So
I agree.
yes.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Do you have a class that is coming up soon?
You could find everything on Facebook. You could find it on my meetup website. It's a meetup that anybody could join for free. And it has the full calendar of all the classes that I have coming up. And it explains how to register, if there's a cost, if it's on Zoom or in person. And there's DNA activation coming up. I have a sound bath coming up.
That is on your website, right?
Yes, you can find it on my website, or you could find it at meetup.com/Glenda's Magical Creations.
I'm going to be sharing her link in the description, guys. So like that, you can follow her and you can check her meetups and our classes that she's going to be announcing in there. So like that, you guys can get a hold on Glenda.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And best way to get a hold of me is through email, because then I could answer at any point. Sometimes texts or messages, people call me, don't leave a message. I called you, you didn't leave a message.
People call me and you don't answer. Like, I'm giving a therapy. I'm not going to interrupt my therapy to be checking my phone.
Right, exactly.
I will answer when I finish, when I'm done, and I will answer everybody.
Right.
but something that people do not understand. It's like I've been calling you. Yeah, but you call me 3 times in the same time when I'm working with a client.
Right.
I'm not going to interrupt my session.
Right. It's like you would want that time for yourself also. You wouldn't want me to answer the phone when I'm with you. So it's the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, totally understand that one. Glenda, do you have a last words that you would like to say before we?
All I can say to everyone is try to increase the love that's within you. Once you have increased that love that's within you, then you could spread that love. And it's not that you're not going to go through problems, not that you're not going to go through things. You know, we all have challenges, but you will be able to see them clearly and you will have an easier time going through them because you won't have so much fear, you won't have hate, you won't have all that negative stuff with you.
I agree. Thank you
And
very much, Glenda, for being in Soul Talk. And thank you for all our viewers. Thank you for being here in Soul Talk. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Please share it with your friends and give us a like and write a review. Thank you so much.